The sixth station. Jesus is scourged and crowned with thorns. Our readings from Luke chapter 22 verses 63 to 65 and from John 19 verses 2 and 3. Luke writes, "Now the men who were holding Jesus began to mock him and beat him. They also blindfolded him and kept asking him, 'Prophesy, who is it that struck you?' They kept heaping many other insults on him." And John writes, "And the soldiers wove a crown of thorns and put it on his head, and they dressed him in a purple robe. They kept coming up to him saying, 'Hail, King of the Jews,' and striking him on the face." What irony! Jesus is finally acknowledged for who he is. Hail, King of the Jews. He's wearing a crown on his head, yet it was not the golden crown of dominion or the olive wreath of victory, but the thorny crown of suffering. Scholars have shown that the thorns from which Jesus' crown was composed were long and sharp. No doubt they dug into the head of the suffering king. We can't really imagine the physical pain, not to mention the emotional and spiritual anguish endured by the King of Kings. What irony! Jesus, the true King of Israel, endured the pain and mockery of the crown of thorns as part of his humiliation for us and our salvation. Because Jesus humbled himself, because he endured the humiliation of the cross, including the crown of thorns, God exalted him to the highest place. For Jesus, the path to glory as King of Kings included the path of disgrace. Because he wore the crown of thorns, Jesus would receive the crown of universal worship. One of my favorite hymns is "Crown Him with Many Crowns." It is a celebration of the multifaceted sovereignty of Christ. I'd like to close today's reflection by reciting this hymn. Crown him with many crowns, the Lamb upon his throne. Hark how the heavenly anthem drowns all music but its own. Awake, my soul, and sing of him who died for thee, and hail him as thy matchless King through all eternity. Crown him the Virgin Son, the God incarnate born, whose arm those crimson trophies won, which now his brow adorn. Fruit of the mystic rose, as of that rose the stem, the root whence mercy ever flows, the babe of Bethlehem. Crown him the Lord of love, behold his hands and side, those wounds yet visible above, in beauty glorified. No angel in the sky can fully bear the sight, but downward bends his burning eye at mysteries so bright. Crown him the Lord of life, who triumphed o'er the grave, and rose victorious in the strife for those he came to save. His glories now we sing, who died and rose on high, who died eternal life to bring, and lives that death may die. Crown him the Lord of peace, whose power a scepter sways, from pole to pole that wars may cease, and all be prayer and praise. His reign shall know no end, and round his pierced feet fair flowers of paradise extend, their fragrance ever sweet. Crown him the Lord of years, the potentate of time, creator of the rolling spheres, ineffably sublime. All hail, Redeemer, hail, for thou hast died for me. Thy praise shall never, never fail throughout eternity.